What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Pinhook Outdoors. I'm on my vacation right now, and today Evie and I were going to leave to camp for 4 days down at Patoka Lake here in Indiana. Do some fishing and hiking around stuff, but it looks like the weather's going to be pretty uncooperative. They're talking strong storms the next 2 days, and then Saturday, which was going to be the last night that we were going to be there, they're talking all-day rain, and it's going to cool down a bunch too, so it sounded pretty miserable for camping. I was going to meet a couple friends down there for the weekend, but I just don't think it's going to be worth the trouble now at this point. Mother Nature's cruel sometimes, especially in spring. You know, you never know what you're going to get around here. But I'm going to try and salvage this vacation and get in some outdoor adventures around here. I'm about to go fish for a couple hours before this first storm front hits. It's the middle of the day, so I don't know how hopeful I am, but I will be fishing the right side of the front. It's getting really warm and humid out, so that should turn the bite on. I'm going to fish a spot I've shown you guys before, so the river itself is still pretty high and probably not any good for bass fishing, but so I'm going to hit a canal here that gets its runoff from the river, but it typically, as long as we haven't had a bunch of rain, the clarity's still good and the level's still good. So I'm going to see if I can get on some bass, and stay tuned. We'll see what we get. Largemouth or a spot. That's a largemouth, I think. Yeah, a little largemouth. Not bad size. Bless America. Drilled that pole or that whatever it is pipe. Ooh, that's a good fish. That's a real good one. Oh, don't you come off. Running right at me. Ooh, there we go. That's a nice smallie. Come here, baby. All right. That's what we're after. That is a fat smallmouth. What do you got down there? It's either, that looks like a, see if I can show this to you guys. Look right down his throat there. Got a fishtail hanging out of there. It's got a weight on you. I'll bet you're over 2.5. Not bad at all. You're fat. Look at that belly. Wow. It's pretty hard though. I'll bet you've been eating a lot of crawdads. It's one thing, you can always press on their stomachs. If it feels real soft, most likely they're eating minnows. If it's hard like that, it's probably crawdads. There could be a chunk of crawdad in there, who knows. You did hit a Ned rig, which is supposed to imitate a crawdad, so let's see how much you weigh. Best hit I've had all day. That thing yanked the hell out of it. See, you go 2.5 on the dot. All right, I was on the money there. Let's get a picture of you and get you back. All right, come on, girl. So I didn't have a whole lot to report from that trip as far as fishing went. You guys saw the 2 bass I did catch. I did catch some other rock bass and a couple really little smallmouth that day. Unfortunately, the fishing's been pretty hit or miss here lately. There have been a few days where it's been pretty awesome, and then several days where the fronts move in and just mess everything up. But I hope you did learn something from this video. You don't always have to autopsy a fish to find out what they're eating. You know, I mean, obviously the best way to do it is if you were cleaning them to look in their stomachs and see what they got in there. But for people who like to catch and release, like myself, for the most part catch and release, one way you can usually find out what bass are eating is by feeling their stomachs. If their stomach's hard, that's a good sign that they're eating crawdads. If it's soft, good sign they're eating minnows primarily. It's not, you know, it's not 100%. You know, there's really no other way to do it other than to see what's in the stomach. Sometimes you can see stuff coming up from the gullet too. Like I could see something coming out of that fish's gullet, and it looked like a fish tail, but it also could have been a piece of crawdad sticking out of there too. That stomach was definitely rock hard, so I'm going to assume that fish was primarily eating crawdads. That's a great way if you're out fishing and you catch one or two and you know you're not having the best success, and then you can feel their stomachs and kind of get an idea of what they might be feeding on. That might give you a better chance to go through your tackle box and see what you got to match the hatch, as they say. So I hope you've learned something from this video, and until next time, we'll catch you outside.